In the previous episode, Josh and Arobindo found the equation for the height of a beanstalk whose initial height was 2 centimeters and whose height tripled each day. In this episode, they will interpret what the equation for a different beanstalk means in terms of the initial height and the growth factor for that beanstalk.
Here's an equation that gives the height of a beanstalk after X days. What can you tell me about this beanstalk?
It started with 3 centimeters and it has a growth factor of 4.
And how do you know that?
Because this is
the starting height.
Yeah, and then this is the growth factor.
Can you label those in?
Yeah. Also, you pretty much covered up the X.
Okay.
And I'll put the X back on.
Josh has noticed an interesting pattern. In all the previous equations, the first number was the starting height, and the second number, the number that is being raised to the x, is the factor by which the height increases each day. This makes Josh think that for the beanstalk, 3 is the height on day 0, and the 4 is the factor by which the height increases each day. Pause the video and think about whether you think Josh is right. Then, unpause the video to hear their explanations for why they think this is correct.
So let's say, so it seems like you're noticing sort of this pattern in the equations. That first number is the initial height, and the second number is the growth factor. What if someone hadn't been through what we have just done and didn't know about these equations? Is there a way that you could convince them that the 3 is the initial height and the 4 is the growth factor?
We could make like a timeline and show that it works with this rule. So like get on day 0, and let's say we can just do like day 1 even. And so we can do 3 centimeters, and this will be 12 centimeters. And this actually works because we should probably label the X and Y too. Y height on day X, and X is the day number, I guess you can say.
Okay, and then can you explain how your timeline correlates to the equation?
So if we plug in everything, the equation would look like, so Y is the height on the day X, which is 12 centimeters. And that should be equal to the 3 centimeters, which is starting on, times the 4, and the X here would be day 1. So 1.
So can you show me in your timeline somewhere the like 3 times the 4 to the first?
Okay, so this is the times 4 to the first.
And where's the 3?
And the 3 is right here.
Okay, can you do the same thing? Let's scroll down a little bit. Can you do it but for a different day?
Yeah, sure. Two, let's say. Okay. And from last time we saw that this is 12 centimeters. And that was 3 centimeters. And to figure out day 2. Okay. And oh yeah, that's 48. For a second I was like, wait, how did you get 98? And it's 48. So we can just check and see if this works. So we have the Y, which is 48 centimeters. And we have the starting, which is 3 centimeters. And we also have the 4, which is the growth factor. And the X here, which is 2. So 4 to the 2. And if we do it, we indeed get 48 centimeters is equal to 3 centimeters times 16, and you get 48 centimeters is equal to 48 centimeters.
And can you show me somewhere where it's 3 times 4 to the 4 squared on the picture?
Okay, so this all the way to there is 3. Oh wait, no, this is the times 4 squared, and here is the 3.
So you've shown me the 4 squared in one big swoop, and how do you know that that's 4 squared?
So you have this 1 times 4, and you have this another times 4. And you're doing times 4 2 times, so that's times 4 squared.
In this episode, Josh and Arobindo were able to interpret an equation that had a height of 3 centimeters on day 0 and increased in height by a factor of 4 each day. They used the equation y equals 3 times 4 to the power of x to explore the height of this beanstalk on both day 1 and day 2, and through the creation of timelines, were able to show how 4 to the power of x represented the factor by which the height of the beanstalk grew over x number of days, and 3 represented the beanstalk's initial height. Then, in the equation, 3 times 4 to the power of x represented multiplying the initial height by the growth factor over x number of days. In the next episode, Josh and Arobindo will compare and contrast equations for different beanstalks. In their comparisons, they will explain how these beanstalks are growing.